Thank you, Emmy Action, for hosting this for all of us. And like Erin said, they are nonprofit, and if we can help them by donating, it goes to classes like this and other great causes and awareness. So I want to welcome each and every one of you. You made it, you got here. Well done. And I'm going to recommend, unless you prefer to be seated, to start your practice laying down so you can do the full practice from bed or a yoga mat, or if you prefer to be seated. But it can be nice to have something under the head and under the knees for support for the low back. And just take your time. We're going to have those two props. So a pillow for under the knees and then a pillow for under the head. And then a blanket to cover you during shavasana can be really nice, and even an eye covering. So just gather around into your space so you don't have to move and get up again. And I'm so amazed with this group. We're coming together again from all over the world. And when I was preparing us for this class, I was thinking of all of us. And I was thinking about how we live in this world of human doings, always exceeding and achieving and striving and more and more and more. And then when dealing with this chronic illness, we may tend to have feelings of not being enough, or shame, isolation, or hiding and faking our way through symptoms to be able to participate in life. But what if we soften that filter and remember we're not human doings, we're human beings, and our worth does not come from what we do, but rather who we are. And we're so many things in spite of this disease. And this is a safe community to just be yourself, because we all get it. There's no need for pushing. There's no need for striving. See if we can use this practice as a real gift to your whole body, your whole mind, because that's where the magic happens. We can let that nervous system get nourished and relaxed. We're going to go at a really nice slow pace. And then you have the choice. Are you going to visualize a movement? Are you going to engage in the movement? So we'll start with some breath work. And to begin, it can be nice to place one hand on the center of your chest and then place one hand on your belly. This is just signaling into your body that you're here, you're letting go of getting ready, and you're coming into some self-care. And notice your breath, how it's moving right now in your body. And I'm going to guide us through a breath practice. You can decide to keep your hands here or float them gently to the sides, wherever feels most comforting. And this is called straw breathing. This is where we inhale through the nose. And when you exhale, you're going to purse your lips like you're blowing through a straw. If it's uncomfortable for any reason, just resume your regular breathing. But this actually relaxes the nervous system and extends your exhalation. So let's empty the lungs completely, breathing in through the nose, straw breath through the mouth. Take that breath 2 full times in your own time, maybe even closing the eyes to settle in. And then allowing your breath to resume its natural rhythm. And take any organic movements that feel good to let your body know if you're coming for movement. We're just going to maybe roll the wrists, Could even roll the ankles. And I'm going to come down now to laying on my back. And if you're joining me, you're invited to bend at the knees and place your feet on the surface beneath you. This is called constructive rest. If this is fatiguing, just stretch your legs out long or go into any position that's comfortable. And to begin with, we're going to do some movements kind of for the whole body. So you're invited to join in with whatever movement feels good and leave the rest. So to begin with, we're going to bend at the elbows so that the palms are raised. And this is one variation. You're going to float the hands towards your shoulders and then float your hands towards your knees. Now, the next level up, if you're wanting more engagement, would be to extend the arms high and then float the hands again on arms towards the ears, not at the ears, and then towards the knees. So this movement, whatever variation you've chosen, is a wonderful way to get some mobility into the arms and shoulders. And you'll know when it's just right if you're not gripping or holding your breath. So if that starts to happen, just let the arms float down to the sides for a rest. We'll take one final round here. Be careful not to hyperextend, and then let the arms come down with the palms facing up. Nice. Okay, so the next movement is coming more into the chest and the low back mid back and even into the arms again. So floating your hands up, you can again bend at the elbows and just float the hands towards the chest and belly, and then extend them open. The next version would be to extend the arms up like you're about to come in to hug you. Imagine you have this big beach ball, and then you're coming in towards yourself to give yourself a hug. And then you're blooming the arms back open. And again, there's no right or wrong way to do this. It's what's right for your body. Seeing if you can make this like a gentle movement, almost like a dance. And we'll take one final round here. And when you're ready, floating the arms back down to the sides of the body and letting them rest. Nicely done. Okay, so we're going to shift the awareness now down into the spine. And this next movement is very similar to a cat-cow, which you're free to do if you prefer that, going onto your hands and knees in a more traditional cat-cow. This option, we can get the same advantages on our back. So to begin the movement, you're going to focus in on your hips and tailbone and roll your pelvis down so the tailbone tilts, low back arches. Nice and easy, inch by inch, you're going to slowly remove that movement back to neutral. Let's try that again. So again, rolling the pelvis down, tailbone tilts down, low back arches, feel the contraction in the low back. And then nice and easy, inch by inch, let those vertebrae unwind, come back to your natural stance. Let all muscle engagement go. This is just as important as the movement itself because we're training the body to let go of tension. Take a nice cleansing breath in through the nose. Exhale softly through the mouth. So now we're going to take the movement the opposite way. So this is where the hips curl up and then the low back flattens into your surface. Your stomach muscles may engage. Feel the contraction. Nice and easy now. Bloom that open. Release, release, release. Back to neutral. And let's take that one more time or pause for rest. Flattening the low back. You might even envision your belly button coming towards your spine. And beautiful, release. Let this be smooth and slow. Getting smart with all those muscles and vertebrae along the spine. Wonderful. Okay, so we'll take this movement one more time and we're going to arch first and then flatten. So to begin, rolling the pelvis down, arching the low back, releasing it back to neutral, and then flattening into your surface and releasing back to neutral. Nicely done. Either go long for rest or draw the knees in towards you for a little bundle roll, just for a minute to catch your breath, making sure you're still breathing nice and gently. And then when you're ready, let those feet flat, come back down flat onto the surface. And this is where we're going to transition onto our sides. So making sure you have something under your head and neck. And that pillow is going to come between your legs. So it might be good even to start there, placing the pillow between your legs, and then slowly and gently turning onto one side. And taking your time to get yourself settled. There's no rush. We're also wanting to make sure those with dysautonomia or POTS move slow and steady to not trigger symptoms. And if you happen to have any symptom flare, it's nice to press your hand and your feet into the surface to ground. Okay. So for our next option here, you can decide to stay here in this restorative side lying posture. If you'd like to get some length, you could lengthen that top leg, have it supported by the pillow, giving your chance for your hip to open, your hip flexor. And then this top arm, it might rest on your side, or it might rest overhead, as long as you're not going into any hyperextension for EDS. Another variation could be to place your hand on your shoulder and then tip the elbow up. Okay, so these are a few options. You might even decide just to rest your hand there. Play around, get that Goldilocks just right for your body. And as we're here, see if you can draw your attention to the ribs and side lungs that are now open. And draw in your inhale and notice how it flexes into these side lungs. Really replenishing this area. And as you're here, is there any additional micro movements you may make to make yourself just a little bit more comfortable? Having this side body stretch, knowing you can come out of it at any time. We're going to be here for one more breath, breathing in slow and fully. And then let that arm come down if it's up. Bend again at the knee. Pause here for a moment. And we're going to transition onto our backs. So we're going to take our time noticing what you need to do for self-care. I'm going to squeeze my pillow between my knees and gently turn myself slowly onto my back. And then place my pillow to the opposite side. And we'll eventually make our way to the opposite side. But before that, we're going to do another movement and a little grounding. Take your time. And once you come to your back, you may decide you need to go long for rest or come into that constructive rest with the knees bent, knees or feet flat. And we're going to ground. So place your palms of your hands on your surface, your feet on the surface, and press down. You may decide to lift the bottom into a mini bridge. And then just release all muscle engagement and relax. We'll take that pressing and grounding 1 to 2 more times here, you deciding what your body's craving, and then responding only when it feels right. Beautiful. Okay, let's let all muscle engagement go. And we'll place our hands to the sides for just a moment. Coming into a T, this opens the chest. And we'll have a little tiny twist here. So just drawing the knees towards one side. You're not trying to get them to the ground. You're just coming into a little twist. Depending on your cervical and your neck, you may decide if you want to take your head and neck to the opposite side. Mini twist here. Let's take an inhale through the nose. Exhale, float everything back to neutral, bringing the knees and the head back to center. If you need to, press the feet into ground. And then dip the knees to the opposite side, bearing in mind this side could be different. And another gentle twist. This is wonderful for our digestion, helps stimulates the organs, and it's good for the low back. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Exhaling, floating everything back to center. Okay. Now we're going to transition onto the opposite side. I'm turning just so you can see me. You don't need to turn. You're just going to turn over to the opposite side of the body that you haven't worked yet. And then taking that pillow and placing it between the knees, having something under your head and neck. Taking your time. And again, this might be just right for you, just nice and cozy side-lying shavasana. To have a bit of a lengthening stretch, you can extend the leg long. And then again, this arm and this side might feel different. So you're trying to play a little bit and see, where does it feel like I have an opening, but I'm not gripping? Where does it feel like the rest of my body can be relaxed? And the breath is moving softly. And let's focus on this side of our lungs now. So breathing in nice and easy into the side area. Taking any other movements your body's craving. And then we'll take one final breath in here before letting the arm float back down and the leg to come back bent. And we're going to finish our movement here in either a sideline child's pose, which you can do by bending the knees and bringing them closer to the chest, extending the neck and head long, and then curling it down, and maybe even placing a palm on your forehead. This is a nice, soothing child's pose for those who find it uncomfortable to be on their hands and knees. If you know that's safe for your body, feel free to come into that now. And let's take 2 full deep breaths, guiding the breath now into the lower belly and the low back. Beautiful. Now take any organic movements your body may be craving. Ask what it needs. Does it need to do an organic yawn or stretch or flex? And we're going to transition into shavasana, which is our guided meditation. So we want to build our cocoon. And if you're new and not quite sure what to do, how we start a practice by laying with a pillow under the knees, something under the head. And then if you have a blanket to cover your body, you can even tuck it in a little bit, having something over the eyes to block out light. And for some, if they have a spare pillow, it can be nice to put it on the chest or belly as like a weighted grounding. So anything goes here. If you want to have something different, your legs up the wall, you're curled on your side, you're really just wanting to get comfy. And I'm going to shut off my screen because there's nothing to watch. We're going to go through a guided meditation, and it's a chance to relax fully. So take your time. There's no need to rush here. And take a moment to see if there's anything you can do to get yourself even 1% more comfortable. And I'm going to guide you for the next few minutes of meditation. And all you need to do is relax and listen to the sound of my voice. There is nothing more you need to do. Just see if you can allow your body to soften back and relax. And let's begin by bringing all your awareness to the breath. And start by taking some nice, slow, deep breaths in through your nose, releasing it out softly and slowly. And just let go, allowing yourself to melt down into your support, knowing you are safe And it is okay to relax and recharge at this time. Now, I am going to guide you through a tense and release practice. And I will draw your attention to a couple areas for you to tighten. For example, your hand, and then to relax it completely. And depending on how you are feeling, you may choose to visualize the muscle engagement and rest with your breath. You're invited to guide your breath with this practice. And this is where we would use the inhale to either visualize or tense the area. And as you exhale, you will relax the area completely. And this cues our body to intentionally relax. You may also decide just to rest now and simply watch your breath. So let's begin by drawing all your awareness into your hands. And as you inhale, tighten the muscles of the hands. And as you exhale, relax fully and let them go. Repeat this now for the next 1 to 2 breath cycles in your own time. Nice. Now let that go. Cleansing breath in through the nose, exhaling softly through the mouth, letting all muscle engagement go. Now let's draw your attention to your feet. And as you inhale, tighten these muscles. And as you exhale, relax and fully let them go. Repeat this now for the next 1 to 2 breath cycles, paying extra attention to releasing and letting go. And finally, bringing your attention into your face, your forehead, eyes, cheeks, and mouth. And when you're ready, you're going to tighten these muscles by squeezing the eyes and cheeks, pursing lips. And as you exhale, relax the face completely. Continue this now for the next 1 to 2 breath cycles in your own time. Wonderful. Now let that go completely. Take a nice cleansing breath in through the nose, exhaling softly through the mouth. And as you lay here peacefully recharging your energy, imagine if each inhale you are inviting energy into your body. And each exhale, you are relaxing and letting go of any stored stress or tension. I will go silent now for a moment to allow you to rest deeply, and I will guide you back when it's time to rejoin our day. And taking a nice, slow, cleansing breath in and releasing it softly as we end our practice. Take a moment to give yourself gratitude for showing up and taking the time to look after your mind, your body, and connecting with your community. And you may decide now to remove your eye covering if you have one, or slowly blinking the eyes open. And bringing any gentle movements into the body, maybe even fingers and toes, or an organic yawn and stretch, like after a big nap. And then we'll take our hands and place the palms together and rub them gently. As we close our practice together in community, I invite you to place them anywhere on your body, sending each other light, love, and peace. Thanks so much for joining. I hope you enjoyed your practice. Please feel very slowly and easy to get into any comfortable position you need if you're coming for our community chat, so we can connect together. Thanks for being here.